Kerala is reeling under the stray dog menace, as incidents of dog bites and culling of the canines have sent shockwaves across the country. The state has reported over 95,000 dog bite cases, and 21 people have died due to rabies infection this year. Recently, a video from Kerala's Kottayam district went viral where a dog accused of attacking people was beaten to death. It is not the only incident, as more than a dozen stray dogs were found dead, allegedly due to poisoning in some areas of the southern state. While these actions appear inhuman, some believe that in the prevailing situation in the state, the public cannot be faulted for taking matters in their own hands. From cricketer Shikhar Dhawan to several animal rights groups, the culling of the stray dogs has drawn strong opposition. Meanwhile, the Kerala government has started a statewide mass vaccination program from September 20 to October 20 for immunizing stray and domestic dogs and expanding animal birth control facilities after receiving harsh criticism for its response to the urgent situation. Another question arises: what are the root causes of the stray dog menace in the state? Experts believe that poor waste management, insufficient sterilization of stray animals, and a lack of rabies vaccines are some of the factors contributing to the growing stray dog population in the state. As part of the Express Dialogue podcast, we got in touch with Sreedevi S Kartha, trustee, People for Animals, Trivandrum chapter, who shared some important insights on the recent stray dog menace that has gripped the state of Kerala. Hi, welcome to the New Indian Express.
Thank you so much for inviting me to talk about the most discussed topic in Kerala now.
Up to 21 rabies-related deaths have been documented in Kerala so far. Why do you think deaths continue to be reported despite the use of vaccine?
The death rate as we hear now is number 21, which is definitely shocking. But more than the number 21, what we should be discussing is among this 21, 15 people are not among us because they were not vaccinated. In a literate land like Kerala, we expect even the most unprivileged will be health conscious. 15 of them overlooked or neglected a potential death bite is very worrying. Among the remaining 6, one lady from Perambra, one tribal lady, another person whose native place I'm not sure of, and a fourth, a man who was bitten by a rabid cat, proved rabid free from their postmortem reports. The rest 2 are Srilakshmi and Abhirami, both bitten not by stray dogs but by domestic dogs. Both had major lapses. Both had major lapses in taking their crucial first aid. Srilakshmi took her immunoglobulin after 48 hours of bite, and Abhirami had a 4 hours lapse, even getting the most important action in a bite, that is wound wash. Recent post-death report on Abhirami says she had sufficient antibodies in her body. There was never an autopsy, as we all know. So the efficacy of these 21 deaths as rabid deaths looks very vague. Among these 21, from whatever data that I have collected, I think only 4 people underwent postmortem and the rest only rapid test. So this calls for more probe into the circumstances, and also about the vaccine part, the efficacy and the efficiency of keeping the vaccine, etc. I personally feel thousands of people are still, even today, being saved from rabid deaths because of the vaccination they're taking. Personally, I feel if I am bitten today by a rabid dog, I'll be doing all the medical procedures and I won't be overtly anxious, because I trust that we are still the best. Our state is still, Kerala is still the best in its health management.
The mass culling of the dogs. What is your take on that?
Okay, despite the existing Supreme Court order, High Court order, ABC Rule 2001, PCA 1960, Section 11, etc., culling is still happening publicly and also in hiding. Even today, we took around 7 culled dogs for postmortem. I just arrived back from the police station after exhuming the bodies. Thanks to the extreme paranoia and frenzy created by media, it is such a put down actually to see. The supposedly educated, culturally embellished, well read, world throated society is ready to take up arms against innocent animals who live the most unfortunate lives in the streets. We should be ashamed actually that we can so suddenly turn into such zombies, thirsting for the blood, whom thirsting for the blood of these poor animals. Actually, whom are we culling now? Rabid dogs? No. Are we culling those that attack people? No. All these deaths, all these culled animals, they're all community dogs. The ones who will come running to us, wagging their tail, jumping on top of us if you offer them a biscuit. Can the problem be solved this way? If we cull the whole canine population, will we be safe? Never. It has been tested and proved in many countries that culling is not an answer. That is why animal birth control is recognized and approved by every civilized society. So, sterilization of 70% dogs, proper vaccination every year, regular community feeding every day, and adoption of inties. Forget the high-end breeds whom you pay lakhs of rupees, and then you find that they are not suited for our lifestyles or our climate. These are the four saving mantras actually we should be sticking to.
Due to the recent stray dog menace, there is a growing hatred towards dogs in Kerala. How can the government resolve this issue while still upholding both the safety of people and the animal rights?
Um, One thing we have to acknowledge is the problem cannot be solved if we continue seeing this as human versus animal issue. It should be viewed more like human animal coexistent management, or rather human animal management system. The only sure way to continue for both of us, so both this species, is coexistence, no doubt. Human safety is very much dependent on animal welfare, as everyone has recognized it, every country has recognized it. That is why there is this concept of One Health. All sick, injured, abandoned. How can we deal with this? Like as you asked this question, how are we going to manage this? How are we going to manage this coexistence? I think in the present scenario, we should take all sick, injured, abandoned dogs from the street, and they should be homed in well caring shelters. Healthy dogs should be sterilized, vaccinated, and regularly fed, and should not be enclosed in any shelters. We all know that dogs are territorial beings, and healthy animals placed in one area together or in a shelter, in a confined area, can initiate more aggression, and that will be followed by violent behavior, which can be very risky to the people who are working with them and also for the society. So let the healthy one remain out in the street. Let puppies get adopted by our homes, back to our homes. Then people should be made aware with the help of the government and with the help of the animal welfare organization, that every animal has rights too. They too have fundamental rights. As the Constitution itself has put forward, there are 5 rights for the animals. That are freedom from hunger and thirst. They have the freedom from discomfort. They have freedom from injury and diseases, freedom to express their natural behavior, and freedom from fear and distress. So let us uphold all these rights as much as we uphold ours. So let us not forget that we are the privileged, and we can afford to practice the greatest virtue ever found on earth, which is the solution to all our social, personal, and national issues, and that is compassion.
Thank you so much for sharing some important insights on this serious issue that has been gripping the state of Kerala.
Thank you.